Captain's Log Supplemental.
Fascinating.
Aye, sir.
Live long and prosper.
But it's a mystery. I don't like mysteries. Give me a bellyache, and I got a beauty right now.
4 phases locked and ready to fire, sir.
In the hands of an adolescent.
I'm a doctor, not a mechanic.
Did you ever hear of Dr. Demento?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to Dr. Demento
No.
when he used to be on the radio, like on Sunday nights and stuff? When I was a kid, man, I lived for that shit. I loved all those. Well, I know how you feel about comedy songs. They're not exactly your favorite thing on the planet. She has her reasons, trust me. But yeah, I used to just love all these silly ass songs. But they used to have this song called "Wet Dream." You could probably find it on YouTube or something like that. But it was the whole thing was like all the lyrics were like using like euphemisms and sayings, changing out words that were like fish related or ocean related.
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
Not much.
Yeah, we're here. We're back at Geeking Poetic HQ. The AC is not working.
No, it's not.
And
Furnace
works
went
great.
out right before winter. Now the AC went out right as summer hits. Our first, 82-degree day
Yeah.
Yep.
of the year, maybe?
Yep.
Of course. Could it be any other way?
That's your luck, Vito.
Yeah, I know.
Next comes the invasion of
Yeah.
ants.
That began a month ago. I found them in my kitchen.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, so
They're not wasting any time this
No,
year.
they're not.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, when we had like a 70-degree day at the start of April or whatever, they came out already.
Emerged their little heads.
so,
March of the Ants.
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting summer.
But we are back with another episode of Trekking Poetic, a Trek Retrospective.
Explode. we still haven't created our explosion intro yet.
Big guns, big lights, big time. Sunday. Except it's Wednesday.
And we put these out on Mondays.
And we put them out on. Yeah, well, there we go. That's how we should do it. We should do a Trekking Poetic commercial. We should make a commercial for it, but make it like monster trucks. So it'd be like,
Totally.
Wouldn't that be great? We go Monday. Trekking Poetic rolls into town. It's gonna roll on over you. All sorts of talk about Mr. Spock, Bones McCoy, and of course the ever-loving smooth pimp daddy himself, Captain James T. Kirk. Explode!
We'll have to like superimpose the Enterprise as a monster truck, like jumping over Klingon warbirds and shit.
Come out and see Truckosaurus take on his new enemy, the Klingon bird of prey. Your mind is going to be completely blown. So warp on down to the Rosemont Center. Sunday, kids under 5 get in free.
I think it's called the Allstate Arena now, Larry.
Whatever. I was making it up. Jeez.
He was winging it.
Yeah, I was just winging it. Come on, man. You'll never be my wingman. Because you're dangerous. That's right.
Oh,
Iceman.
man.
Sorry, I got off track. I got all Top Gun on
I
you
know.
for a second. Hopefully, by the time you guys see this, we'll have gotten back into a groove again with putting these things out. But for a little while there, April and most of May, there was a break in the action, because Vito and I got really busy with making the new November's Doom album. We're still kind of at the tail end of it, but now things are starting to get back to normal again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while. So even though you guys might be seeing like the recent episodes like Mud's Women and all that kind of stuff, it's been a while since we've
We
actually
filmed those months ago.
Yeah.
it was a long time
like-
ago.
The first thing we filmed when we started this podcast was the Star Trek episodes, and we just released them now.
Yeah. Not quite that long.
No, but
Close.
Yeah. So we're happy to be back talking about this because now there's some questionable episodes still coming, but now this next batch of like the next 6 to 8 or 9 episodes, there's some really good ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some fucking stinkers in there too. That will be
Been a lot of stinkers, guys.
There's been a lot of, well, yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about before. I think a lot of these,
They're just getting the ball rolling.
Right.
Getting the train going.
All right, I know, because I know Next Gen, the first season, 2 seasons were a little weak. There's some
Oofa.
weak ones in there. By season 3, they got their steam, and then from there on, it was good. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping,
Until the end.
yeah.
dude, yeah, no.
But then Voyager came along and it saved the day,
Son
Megan.
of a bitch. God damn it to hell.
Here we go.
Motherfucker. I can't believe you just... Deep breaths, Megan. Deep breaths.
Swear to now.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. What the heck is bothering me? It's fucking Vito. Bring up Voyager.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Season 3 of Next Gen is amazing.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Excellent. 1 and 2?
There's a couple in there.
Yeah, there's good ones, but it's a big oofa,
Yeah, a lot of it is.
you know.
Yeah, but, I mean,
Dr. Pulaski.
Ugh.
yeah,
I don't
I
want to talk
know.
about that.
Well, Pulaski's in. When do we get to her? Well, we'll get to her eventually in this original series. She's like a.
Yeah.
She plays something on the
She's
Enterprise,
in-
right?
Yeah,
Does she?
she's.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Nah, let's worry about that. We'll cross that bitch when we get
Yeah.
to it.
But today we're talking about what little girls are made of. Is that what
Yes.
today's episode is?
Yes, we are. This episode came out. When did it come out, Meg? Because
In October 20th, 1966. And it was the first one to do a repeat airing on December 22nd, 1966.
interesting. Did they ever give a reason why they chose this one to be a time filler later on? Did they ever say what was like?
No, not that I found.
I'm gonna guess it was Andrea.
It was Andre.
Yeah,
Good call.
yeah. People were fans of Andrea, man. Apparently, so was Shatner.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, when
'Cause-
he like went to kiss her, he really
Oh,
actually
really?
fucking kissed her.
Yeah,
like,
that-
planted her and everything.
yeah, that wasn't one of those bullshit movie
Is
TV
it-
kisses when you just press your mouth and you just
He was
kinda
in there, huh?
rub it. I
Smoosh
guess
it
he
in
was.
there.
He was getting-
all up in there.
he was getting all up into her business. Yeah, yeah. Apparently, the actress that played her, what was her name? Sherry Jackson. Was that it? Something like that.
Something like that.
Not
Yeah.
happy, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, Sherry
Sherry
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah. She got over it. So, what did you guys think of this episode? Like, I like to start it out like how does this rank? Because now this is episode
Jeez.
8 or something that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
7th aired, 8th. Yeah, episode. We're
Yeah.
just gonna say from now on episode 8.
Hmm. You guys know the drill. We started with the cage.
Right. We started with the original pilot, so technically that was like episode 0 or whatever. But
It was ground zero. I guess we should just start with that.
exactly.
Oh, well.
So yeah, F that. We're
Too late.
We're at episode 8. So yeah, where would this rank for you, Vito? What did you feel about this one?
This one was a pretty cool idea. So it's hard because we're in 8, so it's hard for me to count in order. But I'm gonna
Upper,
yeah,
middle, lower.
definitely in the upper range, I'd say,
Okay.
because I love androids and robots and clones.
Right.
So when you put that into a story, I'm pretty
You
much
got a
down.
winner?
Yeah, I liked Lurch too. He was cool.
yeah.
There was one scene where Kirk had took this stalactite thing and it looked like the shape of a fucking cock.
Yes.
I was like, and I know I've seen that meme. So when that
Yes.
came up, I was like, oh, that's where it's from. This episode.
Wow.
Yeah, that was odd to say the least.
Oh my gosh. Megan, what did you think of the space cock? What did you think of the episode?
I would put this somewhere in the middle for me. It was a good episode. Wasn't terrible. So it's not down there by Charlie X, but it's not up there with the cage and stuff either.
Right.
But it's upper middle, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of where it is for me. Around upper middle. Yeah. I enjoy this one. This is one that I've watched a couple times more recently.
Mhm.
Like I've gone to and gone, yeah, I want to watch that one again. Yeah, I think it's a really good one. I think there's different aspects of it that I of why I enjoy it. One of the reasons I enjoy it is because I really like the character of Nurse Chapel.
Yeah.
And this just focuses on her, you know,
she got center row for this one.
Yeah.
in a big way. And I always felt like they underused her, you know. I love those ones when you get into like a personal kind of conundrum, you know what I mean? Where it's like, this isn't just so many of these other ones. You just kind of feel like, you know, whatever. You know, Kirk kind of just goes in and pillages and destroys and leaves. You know, leaves dust and rubble in his wake, and it's like, well, that was an interesting situation. Let's go, Bones. Next episode, you know, Warp Factor 1. Let's go, you know, kind of thing. But this one, you know, being so personal for her and everything, and just being in that situation where somebody that you thought you knew so well, and just what that had to, you know, I thought Majel Barrett acted it very well.
How she had to basically choose sides.
Right. And
Yeah,
how
that was
difficult that would be. Yeah, I like those kind of stories. I like that premise. Like you were saying, like, yeah, it was cool seeing Lurch as, what was his name? Ruck?
Yeah, I think, right?
Ruck. Rock and roll, you know. Yeah, but Ted Cassidy is the actor's name. Yeah. I mean, if there's a guy that was made to play weird androids and lurches and all these other kind of things, man, Ted Cassidy was one of them.
It's him and the guy from Next Gen who plays Counselor Troy's mother's like chauffeur guy.
Uh-huh.
He's the same way, man. I forgot what his name is.
Oh, I'm trying to remember who that is. Because who played Lurch in the new Addams Family movies? Was it the same guy?
Oh, maybe it was.
I'd be curious to know.
With Christopher Lloyd and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been.
Yeah, with what's her nuts as Wednesday and
Christina Ricci.
yeah, Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci's awesome.
Yeah,
I like her. Anyway, yeah, I wonder if it's the same actor because
might be.
they're
thinking
similar.
Yeah,
That would be an interesting parallel there, you know, that they both did that. So, Meg, why don't you just kind of, I'm sure most people that are going to watch this are going to know anyway, but why don't you just give them like the brief synopsis of what, because they're like, well, what the fuck is this episode about?
Okay, so they get a distress signal or something?
Basically, yeah.
From Dr. Roger Corby. And so it turns out Nurse Chapel is actually his fiance. So it's like, oh my God, we have to go get him and stuff.
Didn't it seem kind of weird that it was so vague? Like, it's like everybody's like, oh, you got a fiance, huh? It's like, oh, and it's like, well, does this seem weird? Does it seem like this whole situation? Does this seem kind of weird? And she's just like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Well, didn't he like disappear? That's why she didn't talk to him. Because that's the whole point. She was even on the starship in the first place.
Right.
Was to get out there and find him.
because I don't think they knew he was on this planet right away, right?
Well, see, I must have missed that. That was. Did she state that that's the reason she was out there?
Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere. That was the whole point. Because
'cause-
she was like, Nurse Chapel and stuff. She was, had everything set up and everything, but he went missing. So she went on these starships out there to try to find where he ended up at.
All right.
And that's why she just happened to be on the starship that found him.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but
Yeah,
seems like that's what I
was
read.
just trying to look and see if there's anything in there about it, but I don't know. See, I didn't know that. Now that's an interesting twist on it then, if that's the case. But I just always, like, when I first saw this episode, I was always just sort of like, I don't know, for a woman that this is supposed to be her fiance, she just seemed sort of like they weren't that tight. You know what I mean?
They ain't
Like,
married yet, man. He's the fiance.
yeah, but I mean,
and he left her. He went off to space. So I mean, what is she gonna do?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then on top of it, then she supposedly finds him and everything, and then he's got this hot ass chick,
Which
like,
he's immediately jealous of. She's like, who the fuck is this bitch?
Do you blame her?
Yeah, she's pretty fucking hot.
Well, and I mean,
With very little clothes on.
right? I mean, but I mean, not even just that. Even if she wasn't that hot or whatever, it's just like still, just like it's like I haven't been able to find you in forever. Here you are dicking around on this weird planet, and you've got this chick. Like, what's up with that, bro? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? The whole thing, yeah, it's just when I first saw it, I obviously, because now I know what happens, I understand it more now. But for you guys that maybe like you were watching it for the first time, did it feel confusing to you at first when you first watched it? Like, did you feel like what I'm talking about? Like, did you feel like, I don't, like, this is weird. Like, why is it, you know? I felt like it was a little hard to follow at first, like to figure all that out. Cause like I said, I had all these questions of like, well, where's this guy been? And why does she not know where he's been? And how did, you know what I mean? And like, and they didn't know she had a fiance. I mean, she's been on this mission for a little while now, and she's no, you know, I don't know.
I guess for me, I didn't care about that aspect of the story. I just wanted to see robots and stuff. So,
okay, well, fair enough. But then it's like it brings, but like other things too. It's like all of a sudden they're introducing, well, she's got this fiance who's been missing, and that, like you're saying, and especially then it's like, well, you know, she's kind of been trying to find him and all this. It's like, all right. But then at the same time, this is old girl that's also been sort of
so hot for Mr. Spock.
Right. So,
see, I'm thinking that this guy's been gone for a while. She kind of moved on. She figured that
Right.
he's gone. Whatever. I'm gonna move on with my life. But then they
When
find
she
out,
finds-
oh shit, he's on this planet. Fuck. Now what am I gonna do?
right. Okay. But see, and I get that now, but that's what I'm saying. When I first saw it, I had a hard time kind of putting all that together. I was like, wait a minute. Like, it seemed weird.
Yeah.
Like, it would have made more sense if it would have been Rand or something.
Yeah.
Because you don't know anything about, like, and she's always, other than her little sort of like infatuation with Kirk, you know, that she more or less keeps under wraps. You don't know anything about her with that. But I mean, like, the chapel thing with Spock had been pretty clearly like put out there on multiple occasions already up to this point that she was like hot for that dude. Like,
She's got a
she's
fiance.
hot.
She's not fucking dead.
damn. It's like, what happens in space stays in space.
Hey, man, it gets hard on the road. Or in this case, wet, I guess. Right?
Yeah. Oof. But anyway, yeah, I just, like I said, I'm not putting down the episode because I enjoy it now, but I'm just remembering back when I first like started watch. I mean, I saw it when I was a kid, but then when I started really getting into these again when I was in my teens, I just remember feeling like it was a little confusing compared to some of the other episodes where it was easier to follow from the beginning. Like,
Maybe the writers didn't care. They just wanted you to get to the planet and with as little explanation of how we got there as possible and just focus on the rest of the story. That
Well,
they kind of skirted over that.
yeah, and I feel like they did that a lot in this first season in particular. I feel like some of the, and that's another thing I'm getting to, I feel like some of the writing of things, and I'm sure it was kind of rushed.
Yeah.
And there were times where it was like good enough, you know?
Yeah, because they were filming and everything. They had to halt filming for so much time
Okay.
while he caught up with the script, and then they can restart filming. So it was written as it was being filmed. So
Okay.
that's exactly what happened.
And there you go.
There you
Answer.
go. Thank you for that answer. That's awesome. No, because that really does explain a lot to me, because that's what I'm saying. It's kind of how it felt to me. I was just like, some of this doesn't feel like it's adding up real well. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I think it's a good episode. It's got a lot of tension in it and stuff, you know. It builds up a lot of tension. It gets into the whole, yet again, even though we already had 2 episodes ago, we already had a fake Kirk, so to speak, in Enemy Within. Now 2 episodes later, we already have another fake Kirk with the whole android Kirk that he
But
creates.
this was done super, super well, man. Especially when they were both kind of on screen at the same time. That was awesome compositing work that they did there.
I
man.
agree.
That was really cool.
Yeah, especially for back then.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
awesome.
I was like, wait a minute, is that the stunt double? But if you look closely, I think it's the same. It's Shatner in both characters there in the
Right.
same shot. So
double shat.
yeah, man. The android spin trick, I saw where the cut was, where they cut it, and then they did it where
Yeah.
he came around. But I mean, That was pretty cool too, though.
Still cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's just interesting that they went back to that well so quickly.
Yeah.
You know,
It worked.
it did work, but you know
It's
what
like
I mean.
sex sells, double Shatner sells.
You got a
Double shat.
yeah, double
Il
shot.
Diaz.
Double shot of double shat. Give me some shat, make it a double. But anyway, I'm just saying. I get, again, for most of us, if you didn't either watch them on Netflix or on VHS or whatever in order, and you didn't see it when it originally came out. I mean, most of us didn't see them in order anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just surprised that they so quickly went back to that trope. You know what I mean? That, just two episodes later, all of a sudden it's like, well, we're going to have another, there'll be a second. And I'm like, wow, really? Okay. I loved the whole little twist they put in there of the way Spock figures it out is because when they were copying Kirk's mind and personality and stuff, that he intentionally put he put like a virus in there, so to speak, like an Easter egg. He put a little thing in there by thinking basically offensive, racist things about Spock.
Half-breed Vulcan.
Yeah.
Half-breed Vulcan, all that kind of stuff. And everything, so that when he would do that, it would be like a tell. I think that's fucking cool. Just like, I love that. That's one of the things I do love about this show, and especially as it goes on, and we'll talk about it in a couple episodes coming up. That I love the way you see that gradual building of just
Camaraderie.
the camaraderie, but just the overall. The characters really getting deeper into each other. You know what I mean? Because when this show... Keep
Jeez,
it clean,
Megan.
Megan.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Sorry.
Not talking about Spock and Chapel here. I mean, exploring each other more deeply in terms of like...
They know what their character is supposed to do. They know
right, and the kind
them.
Yeah, because I think that like 4 or 5 episodes ago, that plot device that I just was talking about wouldn't have played as well. But now establishing the point that Spock is so tight with Kirk and knows Kirk so well, and we're establishing that he knows Kirk would never say that to him. You know what I mean? Like, I love...
It's like a Geordi and Data. I mean, they've got that bond, and they know each other,
Right. And I think you saw that build over time too, which was good. I just, it's an aspect I like. It's just rewatching these again in order. I'm digging seeing that
Evolution.
that evolution and everything. Yeah. When we get into other episodes like Dagger of the Mind and stuff, I love, like, especially the way they show Kirk and McCoy and the way they relate to each other in that, and some of their disagreements, showing Spock and how he's relating to that. We'll talk about that shortly when we get into that episode. But yeah, so now that's what I'm saying. Now getting into these episodes, some for better, some for worse, I'm really enjoying seeing this development of the camaraderie and the respect, and even the dissonance between them and stuff like that. It's like, I feel like the first several episodes, there wasn't as much of that there, like you didn't see as much. I mean, there were some good lines and good parts, but now, especially ever since like Naked Time on, I really feel like, okay, now we're getting into Trek. Now we're getting into all the deep personality clashes and real character interaction stuff. It's not just like
Action.
schlocky stuff for kids and dorks.
Sword and sandal shit, but in Starfleet uniforms, right?
Yeah.
it's swashbuckly sci-fi for most of the
A lot of it,
you know?
but that's what I'm saying. I love, like I've said before, I love when Trek starts getting into some of that deeper emotional.
That's
kind of
what
stuff.
to me what Star Trek is all about.
Exactly.
Is the intellectual, talky, philosophical stuff. Not the action, whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Which is why I like Next Generation so much.
Right?
Oh boy, here we go.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Just like you had mentioned about how cool it was, the effects they used and stuff of like the visual camera effects and panning effects. They also like kind of, I think they're starting to get a little bit better with like their props and costumes and aliens. Like we already said, I think Ruck looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like he looks intimidating and interesting. I don't look at him even now and go, oh God, that looks cheesy.
Well, they actually had like a tailor guy come in and they didn't tell him, and they had Ruck sneak up on him in costume. Scared the shit out of this guy.
I believe it.
So Roddenberry actually bought pants from him just for his like condolences. I'm so sorry for scaring you. I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to test his costume out, but
yeah.
So
I thought the effect when
sell
Roger
it.
gets clawed and you see his circuitry or whatever, that was pretty neat.
Right.
You know?
For the time, especially.
That's cool.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is an episode where you can kind of start to really mark like, oh, okay, they're starting to get a little better. You know, they're starting to really find their footing of what works and what doesn't, and looking not
getting the groove on.
right.
Yeah.
They certainly knew how to make Andrea's costume work. Yep.
That tailor deserves an Oscar or an Emmy, whatever the award is.
Something. A whammy.
That was designer William Ware Thies.
Okay.
Oh, good old William.
He wanted to accent the natural curves of her body.
William, I like your style, bro. I don't know if you're alive anymore, but if you are and you're watching this, good on you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to really. There's not too much to delve much more into this and stuff. You know, I think it like I said, for me, it's an upper middler one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michelle Barrett and her character deserve props. I think it's great. I think it's cool that she shows that she's not some weakling, you know, because a lot of times they make her, you know, they make her kind of the damsel or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that she powered through that and was like, no, I'm staying on. I'm going to keep going, you know, like.
Yeah, she kind of kept true to her captain and
right.
her pledge to the fleet.
Yeah.
And everything. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, it's a good episode.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd recommend this one.
Yeah.
I might even watch it again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I told you this is one of those ones like I talked about, like if you get home from a gig or something like that and you're kind of tired and you just want to put something on and it's kind of cool and you could, but not, you know, too distracting. You could probably like pass out on the couch with some pizza and beer too.
Well, that's Darkman 2, The Return to Rand for me, but if you want to do Star Trek, that's cool too, man.
Save it for Sequel Man.
Yeah.
Just save it for a Sequel Man episode. All right. But okay, yeah, I think that's it.
It's a wrap.
It is a wrap. Is it a turkey wrap or a chicken wrap or
Ham.
chicken Caesar wrap? Those are good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back very soon. I'll say next week, but you never know with us. But we'll be back very soon with the next episode, which is
Fucking Mary.
Mary.
Best episode so far, I think.
Lying.
Holy
sack
shit.
of shit.
Wow.
I'm totally lying.
You better be
Your
lying.
pants are on so much fire
Yeah,
right
they are.
now.
I need Roddenberry to buy you some new pants. Oh, yeah. So we'll be back to talk about that whopping doozy. But in the meantime, everybody, thanks for checking it out. Of course, as always, like, share, subscribe. If you have any other friends out there that you know are Trekkies or Trekkers or whatever they like to call themselves, let them know about this show because we want to get more people on board. We'd love to hear more from you guys. Like, tell us more. Do you like this episode? Not even just our episode, but do you like the episode we're talking about? Do you not? Are there points we missed? Let us know. We want to know. Fucking let us know. But in the meantime, y'all can grease for peace because we are. Oh, can
man,
you?
it's
It's
been a while.
Megan, can you do it? She's got.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you
Fuck
go.
yeah.
All
Did you see that? That was
All
good.
right. Cool
I'm
as
losing
ice.
it.
Cool as ice. You
ice.
think you're slicker than grease. I got you. Yeah, sorry. I won't rap at you. All right.
Please don't.
Take it easy, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
This communication has ended.